Hello, parents. Yeah, she's excited. I wanted to take a few minutes today to give you an update on two things. And then she's just gonna be distracting. Try to focus on me. I know I'm ugly. I've got this little cut on my nose, and she's cute, but we're gonna get through this. So number one, the question I've been struggling with is, what is youth ministry going to look like over the course of the next year? And I'm trying to pull from data that we've got, as well as people who are forecasting what's going to happen in the future. A lot of the colleges and universities are expecting a resurgence in the fall of this virus when flu season comes. And because of that, they're predicting that we're not actually going to be going into the office. I know some people are now, but that's going to fall back, and we're going to go back to social distancing somewhat till maybe next summer. So we're looking at this kind of lifestyle potentially for the next year. With that being said, what does youth ministry look like? Well, I have this quote that this point I want to get across is that your students will learn spiritual disciplines from what they see you do consistently rather than what they hear me say occasionally. And in case you didn't hear that, because Addie's jumping, they're going to learn spiritual disciplines from what they see you do consistently rather than what they hear me say occasionally. Now, this has always been true, but more so now than ever when we've got maybe 2 hours a week with me on social media and Zoom and whatever, but they have hours upon hours upon hours of the day with you. And so if they hear me say something spiritual, but they see you model something else, that's what they're going to take out of this. That's what they're going to remember. So what I want to do is, starting now, I'm going to start uploading daily devotional snippets. So right now we're doing the Summer of Psalms, and we're trying to be clever, and so we're spelling it Psummer, like Psalms, Summer of Psalms, and we're reading 2 chapters of Psalms a day. And as a devotional, that's kind of what we're doing. We'll just read 2 a day, and then on Sunday nights we discuss it. Now, what I'm going to challenge you guys to do is to be part of this challenge, this devotional challenge, and either keep up and keep your kids accountable with what they're supposed to be reading for that day, or do it as a family. I can think of nothing better, and just take 10 minutes out of your day, sit down and read 2 chapters of Psalms together. Very short, very easy. Now, to aid you in this, I'm going to be filming kind of just maybe a 2 to 3 minute devotional thought from that day's reading, and I'm going to be posting that on Facebook and YouTube so that you guys can use that as maybe a starting point, a launching point for your discussion, or maybe just kind of help guide you in what does this passage mean, or guide your teen. So I would encourage you to watch it individually, or encourage your team to watch it, or watch it together to really get the most out of this. And finally, I want to address why we haven't met in person yet. So I know a lot of people are meeting together, but there are 3 main reasons. Number 1 is that when adults meet together, they are responsible for themselves, and if you don't social distance, you will only get mad at another adult. But if we have a problem with crowd control and we don't properly social distance, it's not the adults that are to blame, it's me who's to blame, and the other parents who aren't teaching their kids the way that I teach my kids. So that's just one hurdle of, we want to take as much precaution as we can for people who aren't adults yet and don't make those decisions for themselves. Second is that nobody really agrees on what we're going to do. If you had asked every single church member before we had our first outdoor service what they want out of the service, you would have gotten a different answer for every single family that you asked. So because of that, we're really in a no-win situation. So we're going to try to be as cautious as possible, because the last thing I want is to meet and have it not go well and then a bunch of people get sick. That's just not okay in my book. And then finally is that as a group, youth groups are not the most mature bunch. And so we might even go into the night with the best idea of social distancing, and then we get excited and it just doesn't happen. So for those 3 reasons, we're not meeting yet. We're looking at a plan to come back. I'm closely monitoring the data, and I'm not seeing anything that's leading me to think, okay, this is good. We're going in the right direction. Let's start meeting. So with that being said, those are my 2 things I wanted to get across to you today. I've already gone 5 minutes, so I'm going to cut it off. But please, please, please do the devotionals with your kids or keep them accountable. Check the videos on Facebook and YouTube, and just pray that we can all get back together soon. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thanks.